pilot, a prophet, the professor. None so Arinzija. I'm not alone in the studio. I've got my right-hand man.
Permit me to say Eid al-Fitr greetings to you. Welcome to Sport Beat. It is the return of the UEFA Champions League. If you are a Man United fan, if you are a Chelsea fan, come on, listen to the show with one part of your ears because it's all about the big boys. My name is Franklin Imonad, the one you love to call Uncle Fine Boy, because I am the finest uncle talking sports in the capital city and beyond. It is a cold and wet morning here in the capital territory, Abuja, but we are set to warm you up.
Okay, guys, you know how we do it. Thank you from everything: sport, basketball, football, golf, Formula One, Ludo. And with sport, will bring it to you just like you like it for your listening. And of course, your viewing pleasure. Don't forget, we are live on YouTube. Yes, on Voice of the People, Abuja 96.1 FM. You can also listen to us on the go, on Radio Guardian as well, Voice of the People, Abuja, and of course, terrestrial radio. You can get us anywhere in Abuja. Okay, we'll take a breather. We'll go straight to the headline from the newspapers. When we come back, we'll go straight to the newspapers.
The newspaper headline.
Okay, guys, let's go straight to the newspaper headlines. You know how we do it. We start off from all the way from our own Complete Sports. What is Complete Sports saying this morning? Okay, simple. It says Paris 2024 qualifier. Super Falcons must approach Bayana game with winning mentality. This is according to Dosu. UEFA Champions League. Arsenal slight favourite to welcome Bayern Munich. This is coming from Hargreaves. MPFL Ogumbote. I beg your pardon. Loud shooting stars fighting spirit and win over Kano Pillars. Still talking. Inter scores historic Serie A goal against Okoye in victory versus Udinese. This one is from Jose Ellis, the coach of Bayana. He says Super Falcons will face a different Bayana in Pretoria. That's we hear. And Arsenal currently best team in the Premier League. This is according to Bayern Munich coach Thomas Tuchel. I don't know whether that's mind games. Head of the Champions League game tonight. And of course, don't forget him. Future Eagles. Yes, denied the visa to Spain. We'll talk about that as well on the show. And of course, Katana banks on suitable home condition to beat Super Falcons. Then MPFL, we hear that Shooting Stars guns down Kano Pillars in Kano. That's how much we can take from Complete Sports.
Alright, from Complete Sport, let's touch down Vanguard newspaper as we track down some of the biggest sports stories. And this one says Champions League Tuchel wants Bayern to inflict pain on amazing Arsenal. A new idea. Elumelu considers signing over a new NPFL club. A new idea. Elumelu considers a chance of acquiring NPFL club. And away from that, a Spanish embassy denies a future Eagle visas for UEFA Under-16 tournament. And we hear that Real Madrid lacked courage against City last season, but it will be a new story, says Carlo Ancelotti. And from the Paris Olympic Games, athletics to future custom purple track. And still in the world of the Olympic Games, Super Falcons arrive at Pretoria ahead of Olympic qualifier and Olympic rings to adorn Eiffel Tower during Games. In the EPL, Everton dug further 2 points for breach of financial rule. And in the UEFA Champions League, Arteta urges Arsenal to banish painful history with Bayern Munich. More from Vanguard newspaper. We hear that Osimhen's unbelievable jump to score for Napoli against Monza. And finally, in the world of rugby, French rugby great Andre Boniface dies at age 89.
Okay, guys, I'll go to Sporting Live. So this one says Madueke has faith in Europe chances. Is he super optimistic for Chelsea? I don't know. Late Salah penalty rescue Liverpool draw at Man United. Red carded Ronaldo accused of losing mental and emotional side. He was red carded yesterday. How Osimhen made his mark against Monza. It's Olympic or nothing. Talking about Rashidat Ajibade. Golf remains at war a week before the Masters. And crucial shoulders Bayana rely on home advantage. This one says Archer banned for 2 years after positive beta blocker test. Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games contributed 1.2 billion to the UK. Commonwealth Games 2026 hot city to be announced in May. Warning of pollution and danger in Siena. And Paris 2024 to future Italia-made purple athletic track that we hear. That's as much as we can take from Sporting Life.
All right, so let's touch down a Daily Post, a newspaper, as I bring you great sports stories. This one says a CAF Confederation Cup, Eguma gives reasons for Rivers United Oyster. And in the Olympic Games qualifiers, that didn't cut the grass. Bayana star slams NFF over MKO Stadium. You never see anything. UEFA Champions League. I was surprised that Rodiger names special Real Madrid star. And from the award of the Saudi Pro League, Ronaldo shown red card as Al Nassr lost 2-0 to Al Hilal. And in Champions League, Bayern Munich squad to face Arsenal confirmed. And we hear that Newcastle, Tottenham Hotspur, Aston Villa, Barcelona, others battles for Nigerian midfield maestro Wilfred Ndidi. And in the world of the NPFL, Ilechuku unhappy with Rangers' defeat against Castina United. And more from Daily Post, Champions League, shout out to him. Rio Ferdinand names Arsenal players he respects. In the world of the Champions League still that we go through, Glenn Hoddle predicts a team to qualify for semi-final between Arsenal and Bayern Munich. What Mikel Arteta did to me. Bayern's Leroy Sané speaking. And Gabriel Jesus of Arsenal is saying, he says that they already know on signing new striker. And finally, from a Daily Post, it's difficult to stop them. Jesus singles out 6 Bayern Munich players.
Okay, guys, that's how much we can take on the newspaper. We go straight to the local scene.
News from the local scene.
Of course, where else will we begin from? But of course, from that game that will take place today, Tuesday, is the time, I'll tell you, between Nigeria, the Super Falcons of Nigeria, and of course, the Bayana of South Africa. We here, just like Fine Body tell yesterday, that the Super Falcons have arrived Pretoria for that game. They had their first training session 6:30 p.m. at the Loftus Stadium in Pretoria as well. Also, we also hear that the Super Falcons will be hoping to maintain their unbeaten record against South Africa in South Africa. We heard in the previous 24 encounters, Nigeria has played 7 in South Africa. Nigeria has won 15, with 5 ending in draws and 4 wins for Nigeria. We hear in those 7 times played in South Africa, Nigeria have been unbeaten. For South Africa, they've won Nigeria those 4 times in Barca, Equatorial Guinea at the 2012 Afcon, 1-0. At the Cape Coast, Ghana, 2018 World Cup, 1-0. In Lagos, Nigeria, the Aisha Buhari Cup, 4-2. And last year, the 2022 Women African Cup of Nations in Rabat, Morocco. That game ended by 2-1. Fine boy, 1-0 is the score line. Can Nigeria keep their unbeaten record in South Africa?
It looks destined, it looks poised that the Super Falcons will definitely win the game, going by the words of Coach Randy Waldron, saying he has a plan B approaching
a plan D
approaching this game. This man looks forward, he looks focused, and the players as well knows what's at stake. If there's anything that is going on for the Super Falcons, it is their unbeaten run against the Bayana at home, that is in South Africa. They haven't lost a game. I think that can count for them. But the South Africans, ladies, these women are talking tough, and they look like they've got something up their sleeves, especially playing in front of their home crowd.
And I'm talking about the South African counterpart. One lady is talking tough. Her name is Tembika Klana. She already declared that they would take home advantage to destroy Nigeria. In other words, the good thing is that this is not a tournament. We know after the game in Pretoria, whoever wins will go through, but they have the advantage after the first leg. There is no away go rule. I think that gives us more confidence because we are not chasing the game. We know that we have to win a better scoreline. We have the advantage at home, and again she repeats, with better facilities. She seems to be more concerned about the facilities, believing that, like you said,
facilities don't play football.
Ellis said they didn't cut the grass. Now it's better facilities.
Of course, the facilities don't play the game, even though it can go your way. But come on, they are going to play against a star-studded Super Falcons, against professional Super Falcons, against players that have been playing their professional career virtually all their lives. The likes of Michel Alozie, the likes of Nadoze, they have played at the biggest stage.
Chidima Okeke, who plays in Japan after leaving Spain.
Not forgetting Azizat for sure like UEFA Champions League winner. What are you saying?
Absolutely.
5 times African Women Footballer of the Year. But come on.
They've got African Footballer of the Year in South Africa. So Temika Cladden and McClough. They were both from Africa Footballer of the Year.
But of course, we got more. We got more in the Super Falcons. All I'm saying is that the players are better suited for this game. Yeah. They're talking about facilities. Our players have played under better facilities than what they've got. So, just like I always say, facilities don't play football. You're going to play the game on the pitch.
Let's see how he pounds about. Let's hear first of all from the coach of South Africa, Desiree Ellis, speaking about her chances and what to expect in that big game tonight. Let's hear from Desiree Ellis, the coach of Bayana of South Africa.
Coach, a big one for you and the girls tomorrow. Of course, when we're in Nigeria, did say that this is going to feel like a second half for the team. It's a do or die. After this, there's only going to be one team between South Africa and Nigeria to make it to the 2024 Paris Olympics. Just your overall feelings ahead of the second leg tomorrow.
Look, we always knew it was a 2-legged match, and we wanted to get a positive result. In Nigeria, that didn't happen. But I thought we played better in the second half than what we did in the first half, and if we can build on from that, we're a ball-playing team, and we created some opportunities in Nigeria. We all know it's a big match. We all know that the winner over the 2 legs ultimately goes to the Olympics, and we want to be on that plane. So for us, it's a game where we have to put everything in. There's no second guesses. There's no second chances. It's a game where we have to score and try and get back the goal as early as we can. But we know we're coming up against a team that are leading 1-0, and we have to be ready for every eventuality in the way that in the way we think they might play. So we have to be ready for that. But it's a do-or-die match. There's no second chance, and we have to just go for it.
And Coach, the team only landed back from Nigeria yesterday, of course, just leaving you with 1 day, match day -1, of course, to just get your combinations right. How do you feel with regard to that? How important it is to manage the players at this time?
Look, we always knew before we left that was going to be the case, that we were going to have possibly 1 training session. And that's why we wanted a positive result, which didn't happen. But along with the medical team, we've been in constant communication to make sure that players have recovered really well, because it's going to be a game where you're going to have to leave everything out on the pitch. We want to be on that plane, and we want to make sure that we get the result. Playing at home, we've shown at home that we can score goals, but we're coming up against a formidable opponent. Who's been there, done it all, and have a 1-goal lead. So we also got to throw caution to the wind, but we still have to go for it.
And Coach, we have Sinotolo Kisane, who just recently joined the team. Of course, not being able to travel to the first leg in Abuja, Nigeria, just how important it is to have her back with the team, and what are you hoping to get from the player?
Look, it was unfortunate that Sinotolo couldn't come. She had visa issues getting out of the country to travel. But we have her here for the second leg, and she's shown, in Mexico that she can score goals, and it's goals that we need. But we'll have a look at the last training and decide on the lineup and what it is that we want to do, because
that is the coach of Bayana of South Africa. Desiree said the big news that Zinakolo Kasane will join up with the team. She's back from Mexico. She's in South Africa. Would that be an advantage, South Africa?
Of course, South Africa would definitely bank on the experience of these players. This is a high-profile game, just as we have been saying all week long. They needed the best leg that they can get to prosecute this game. But Sport Bishop, I just have one prayer for Randy Waldron and his players. May Rivers United no happen to them.
Anyway, moving forward, guys, to the other 15 national team, we hear the future Eagles that plan to fly to Spain today for the UEFA Under-16 Development Tournament has been denied visa by the Spanish Embassy. According to NFF on its X handle, both players and officials were denied visa and will no longer participate in the tournament. Sad one. I feel this is unacceptable. A national team on national assignment denied visa. They know where they're heading to. They know what they're going to compete in. And the Spanish FA denied visa. I think the foreign ministry, that's my own take. And of course, the Nigerian Embassy in Spain should come out and get clarification on why a whole national team on national assignment were denied visa.
Sport Bishop, I feel your pain. I recall we spoke quite extensive about this topic yesterday when the news broke out. But I will say heartbreak for these young boys. They have been praying.
Worked so hard.
They have been, they have worked so hard. They have their friends, family praying and wishing them well. And of course, you and I will want to see the best of these players competing with the best
in the world. Belgium,
Spain.
England.
Come on, this is something that we have always wanted for these guys. But administrative errors and a lackadaisical attitude and a lack of being proactive has cost these young boys this golden opportunity to travel and make name for themselves as Sport Bishop. I want to hear what the Nigerian embassy in Spain has to say. I want to hear what the NFF
We heard it was
has
visa
to
on
say.
arrival and they still denied them.
I want to know why, because this is unacceptable. Imagine if it were Brazilians or English guys wanting to travel to other parts of European
Would
countries or
Nigeria
Africa.
deny Belgium a visa to come play here at the tournament?
1 million questions that need answers to Sport Bishop. It is something, just like you said, unacceptable. This is not the first time it's happening.
Absolutely.
This is not the second time. For how long?
We need answers.
For how long are we going to continue to move in rhetoric, especially when high-profile games is about to go down?
Anyway, down to the MPFL. Good wins there for Sporting Shooting Stars of Ibadan. By the time we left the studio, they were losing by a goal to nil. Caught that goal by Rabiu Ali. But the Luoye Warriors, led by no other than Gumbote, with goals from Taye Mutala in the 48th minute, and Christian Piagbara in an impressive form, returning to the Nigerian Premier Football League with a winning goal to get a shot that Shooting Stars won that game by 2-1. Fine, but a big win for Shooting Stars.
This is why I love the NPFL. It seems that the home must win syndrome
is thrown to the Raptors.
Finally been banished.
Yeah.
The whole kind of pillars losing at home as early as the second minute. They were 1 goal ahead, and bam! Before you know it, 90 minutes, it was already 2-1 in favor of the visiting team. Good one for the Oluyole Warriors, winning that 2-1 away from home. It can only get better. Caterpillars back-to-back defeats now. Record that they lost 5-0 against Aimba a few days ago, and now losing 2-1 at home, conceding 7 goals and scoring just 1. This is unacceptable for a team like Caterpillars, who is looking to qualify for the UEFA Champions League. So sad.
Really sad, I must tell you. And then quickly, before we leave the MPFL, we know that Jigwago, this time, talked about that yesterday, 1 million naira fine for not giving the appropriate security for the game against Sporting Supreme in Dusi, the game that Jigawa won by 2-1. We already know that Saradin Nasiru of Katsina and assistant Usman Awalu from Borno State, they have both been expelled from the NNL and from Nigerian football in general.
Good riddance. You can't just go scot-free with that kind of action. So unacceptable. A player volleying, slamming, grabbing the ball and pushing it inside the net, and two referees were there, both the central referee and his assistant referee kept quiet, pointed to the central spot and awarded a goal. This is unacceptable. To every punishment, fines and suspension, expulsion that have been given to all the culpable parties that deserve it.
We go straight to the foreign scene.
Let's take you to the foreign scene.
And well, of course, we did take you to, but of course, to the UEFA Champions League. 2 big games coming up tonight. It is at the Santiago Bernabeu. Real Madrid will take on, of course, Manchester City. And, of course, it will be Arsenal versus Bayern Munich at the Emirates Stadium. 2 big games. We hear for the team news, we hear that Arsenal has got no problem. Only Jordan Timbers is out for a long time. But for Bayern Munich, Manuel Neuer, Leroy Sané, Kingsley Coman, Pavlovic and Nosa Masraoui, the Moroccan, are all doubt. Bonassar, Sacha Boey, Tariq Bochman, Noah Aseko are likely to also miss the games through injury. In the game between Bayern Munich and Manchester City, we hear also for the team news, the only big story there is that one man is out. It likely is a doubt. It's called about Ederson, the goalkeeper of Manchester City. But defenders Nathan Ake, Kyle Walker, they did not travel for the game against Madrid. White Jack Gafjol is a doubt for this big game. Man City in injury crisis.
We hear that also Real Madrid have written to UEFA to see if they can allow them cover their stadium as early as this morning or latest in the afternoon for them to get more fans into the stadium and send shivers down the spines of Manchester City fans as they're shouting to cheer up their players. But come on, it's going to be very, very tough later tonight. UEFA Champions League resumes, and if there's anything Arsenal will be banking on, it is the form against
history is a no-no. Now, Arsenal has played them 4 times and have lost 4 times. The last time they met was the 5-1 drubbing. And that was the last time Arsenal were in the Champions League in 2010-2011. So, not good readings for Arsenal on history, but like I said, and there's a certain Harry Kane who has scored in 14 games in 19 appearances.
He lost to score against Arsenal.
Absolutely, but Arsenal also got a good player in Bukayo Saka, who so far has scored 3 goals and 4 assists so far this season.
Bukayo Saka has been ravaged with injury in the past few days.
Yeah.
This is not the Saka we used to know. He's not 100% fit. But if there's anything Sport Bishop we should be concerned about is the threat that Bayern Munich has received from an ISS affiliated group saying that there might be chaos later tonight. Chaos of bombing.
But unfortunately, the game is not going to play at the Allianz Arena. It's going to play at the Emirates Stadium. We just heard there was a threat of ISIS. There were marks, these arrow marks like missiles on the stadium. The police are already there. We hear the police have come out to say that they are evaluated the post and assess the situation. But there are currently no indication of an acute danger situation yet. But nonetheless, the police attendance at the game this evening will be increased to about 100. That's what we hear. Building up to the game against Borussia Dortmund.
Of course, the fans should be around the stadium, if not inside the stadium, to see visually and follow the game. But for the fans that are not traveling, it is only a mental distraction. It's only a psychological.
But Africa has a lot on their plate already.
I'm telling you.
They're not doing well in the league. They are thrown out of the cup.
So what you're saying is whatever result that happens, it is not Bayern Munich's fault. You're already deep in form. Time will tell. If there's any time for Arsenal to beat Bayern Munich, it is now.
It's now. Don't forget, for Man City Madrid, let's jump to Man City Madrid. The last time they met last season was a thumping 4-0 at the Etihad Stadium after a 1-0 draw at the Santiago. According to Barilla, he said this will be a revenge mission for Madrid. Do you see a revenge happening tonight?
Not just a revenge mission, Sport Bishop. Recall that it was the same Manchester City that stopped Real Madrid en route to the final last season. Both teams have unfinished battles. Both coaches have unfinished battles. The players also wants to prove themselves.
Absolutely.
The likes of Vinicius Jr., the likes of Rodrigo, the likes of Erling Allen, Phil Foden.
Yeah.
Of course, this is the best time for a certain Kevin De Bruyne to start scoring. Remember, he put up a 7-star performance last weekend against Crystal Palace. 4-2. That game ended, and Manchester City are brimming in rich form, scoring goals not conceded like they should. And of course, the Real Madrid, they sit top in the Spanish La Liga, massive points away.
Bastard.
This is why we love the Champions League.
Defending champion by 14 times champions. A cracker in the making. Absolutely.
Definitely it is. And looking at one of the most successful, if not the most successful coaches in the UEFA Champions League. He has won it with AC Milan, with Real Madrid. He has played the finals with other
clubs
clubs
as well. Real Madrid won it with AC Milan, I think twice as well. That man is balling.
Of course.
Okay, guys, and don't forget there was also a game played yesterday in the Italian Serie A with Frontpage scoring the 90+5th minute to ensure that they beat Udinese with our own Maduka Okoye by 2-1 to extend their lead on top of the Serie A table by 14 points. And we also hear as well that UEFA is considering increasing the squad for the Summer European Championship from 23 to 26 after discussions with international team coaches. We hear the final decision will be made in the coming weeks. Fine boy, Inter Milan, we know it's a stroll already, but big win for them yesterday.
Of course, Inter Milan, it is only when they are going to win the Scudetto, because it's already done and dusted. Their closest rivals, they are not doing so well. Looking at the teams that are currently behind them, teams like AC Milan, teams like Juventus, Bologna, they are massive points away. 18 points, I guess, between AC Milan and their closest rivals. So you see that Inter Milan are runaway champions, and that is how champions win their game 2-1, even when people felt that this is not a big game, but they had to show dominance and won that game. Inter Milan, good to go for the Scudetto.
Anyway, games tonight you have in the Champions League: Arsenal vs Bayern Munich, Real Madrid will take on Manchester City. Those games are 8 p.m. Nigerian time. In the Championship is Millwall vs Leicester City, Plymouth Argyle vs Queen's Park Rangers, Preston North End will take on Huddersfield Town, Sheffield Wednesday vs Norwich City, Coventry will travel to Southampton, and of course Leeds United taking on Sunderland. In other sports happening, we hear that the UK government backed the decision to allow Russian and Belarusian athletes to compete at the Paris 2024. We hear so athletes from both countries were banned from after the invasion of Russia, Ukraine by Russia, and we hear that the UK government have banned this back decision of the organizers. Also, we hear the King's Cup 2024, Great Britain will take on France in a bid for the final cup. This talk about tennis, the Billie Jean King's Cup 2024. We hear it and see how Great Britain will fare against France. Also, in the Monte Carlo Masters, Dan Evans and Cameron Norrie, they've lost out in the first round. Cameron Norrie losing to Karen Kachanov 7-5, 7-6, and of course, for Dan Evans, he was beaten by Australian Sebastian Offner 6-1, 6-4 in that encounter. Britain and tennis. They seem not to be a good bromance in that one.
Well, it seems
the best guys was Andy Murray, and since then they've struggled.
Ever since the Wimbledon era in 2017, 2018, 2019 period, it has been the British dominating both male and female category. But ever since, there have been a downslide with this nation coming to the game of tennis. Well, it seems that it has shifted to the Ukrainians, to the Polish guys and women, to the Russians, just few Spaniards and Argentines, including French guy, trying to get their feet aside the likes of Carlos Alcaraz. It seems that tennis has moved away
from Britain to Europe, to Spain, to Norway, to Serbia.
Absolutely, that is what we get. Hopefully, the British guys will start to groom new talent to see how they can get back to world stage.
Okay, this is how far we can take on today's edition of the show, guys. Come on. They say all is well that ends well. Whatever has a beginning definitely have an end. And this is why we call it a wrap for the edition of the show. 4
p.m. we will be back on the Show Sport Lounge. Keep a date with us. It's all about the UEFA Champions League.
And the game between Nigeria and Bayana of South Africa.
It is match day live.
Absolutely. So sit back, relax. 4 p.m.